What I want to do is get back into talking about the Bible manuscripts and the different ones, because I really want to get this across to you guys so that people can, whoever can get an understanding of why we have so many different Bible versions, which Bible can you trust, but not even just that, I want to give people clarity on this topic. Now let's get into it. And it says this: it must be emphasized that the argument is not between an ancient text and a recent one, but between two ancient forms of the text, one of which was rejected and the other adopted and preserved by the church as a whole and remaining in common use for more than 15 centuries. Talking about the Textus Receptus that was used by the church. Not talking about the Catholic Church, but the early church that was during the time of the apostles, Paul and his people that he taught during those times. Tyndale used the received text in his Bible and said to the Pope, "If God spare my life, before many years I will cause a boy that driveth a plow to know more of the scriptures than thou doest." Now look here, you got to really understand what this man Tyndale was really telling the Pope, because he believed and he knew that the Pope had the incorrect manuscripts, and he used the received text, which is the Textus Receptus, which is what the early church, not talking about the Catholic Church, but what the early church of Paul and his apostles used, but then also Jesus' apostles used. It was the manuscripts that came out of Palestine, that was used in Syria and Antioch, many other places, but not the ones coming from Alexandria, not the ones coming from Rome. Those are ones that came from the occult people. And the occult has nothing to do with the Bible, Old or New Testament, people. The argument is not a KJV versus other versions. It is the received text versus other manuscripts. I tell people this: I'm not saying you can't use the ESV, the RSV, the NIV, because I like the certain translations that they have for certain verses. But when they talk about in the margin of discrediting certain KJV verses and certain verses that have, the Holy Spirit, Jesus, and everything of that sort, when they get to start doing that or changing certain verses and certain chapters or ripping whole chapters away from the Bible, I disagree with that. Because you can't add to the Bible, nor can you take away. And that's what the received text doesn't do. They don't add, they don't take away.